gone for coffee? Okay. Okay. Thank you. Now, is there any motions to grant leave of absence? None. So everyone's here. I've got to wait for Kate to turn them up. Now, declarations of interest. Is there any declarations of interest? If not, questions without notice. Is there any questions without notice, please? Any motions without notice? Now, the item 6.1 is the Chief Executive Officer's Performance Review Survey Update. Now, the officer's recommendation, as you can see on the board up there, is the following that we have there. Can we have, the Mayor Karen moved that way, seconded by Councillor Goldstein. Now, speakers for or against the motion? Yes? Yeah, sure can, thank you.
Yeah, you can. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Chair. Yeah, I think it is important to discuss this in confidence. This is about the personal affairs of the CEO and performance review. Yes, it says survey update and process. However, I think that it still may touch on aspects of the CEO's performance review. And so I'm in favour of discussing this in confidence. Thank you.
Any other persons to speak? Yes, Councillor Tooley. It's on. Press it.
When you're ready.
Oh, you got to do all that.
Okay. Okay. Councillor Samble, I think some elected members, I'm a great believer in policies, procedure and process, because I think that keeps a very level playing field. And I think that way you get fairness, you get inclusivity, you don't get any favours being applied at all. I know from occasions on time to time, complaints have to be put in. The Ombudsman has to act when perhaps a regulation's been misinterpreted. I believe that the Ombudsman, if he was to look at this, he would look at Part 3, Section 90, and subject to this section, a meeting of council or a committee must be conducted in a place open to the public. Then it says there can be some conditions under which you may go into confidentiality. The one that is claimed here is 3 Part A, which I'm sure you'd be familiar with. It says, if the information, the disclosure of which would involve the unreasonable disclosure of information concerning the personal affairs of any person living or dead. Now, given that we are not going to do that, we are not going to be dealing with the personal affairs of the CEO. I presume, although I wasn't expecting this meeting, if it's called an update on the process, then I believe we may be discussing the survey, performance survey, the questions, who's being asked, etc., which is nothing of a personal nature. It is simply a process. I have been involved in more of these processes. I know there are some members here who have experience of 40 years in many, many areas, but I have 40 years experience in the education department and 20 as a principal. And in managing my schools, every single year, I had to get involved in surveys and performance processes. I had to write them up in the annual report, and every 3 years, we had to have a complete external review of my school and my work. All of that absolutely in the public domain. Anybody could read in those surveys what they said about me as the principal. If there was one or two staff or parents who said, I'm the worst person in the world, it was there. Thankfully for me, it was balanced by the vast majority that said the opposite. But I could not hide it. Now again, because of what's been in the media, our community is watching. Our purpose tonight, it appears, is we're going to give ourselves an update and have a discussion about the process. I do not want to be party to anything derogatory, negative, defamatory, or shaming of Mr. Enact. I'm not into that. What I want to talk about, which I hope this is what this is about, is the process. And given that I have been contacted, as you've been contacted by people on other issues, I've had that many people contact me to say, Ian, I read the comments of the mayor in the paper. I know there's a survey going. I've heard of some people getting them. Why haven't I got a survey paper? Not one business person, I'm told, has received a survey. Not one staff member has received a survey, I'm told. One developer has received a survey, I'm told.
Well, I was just, thank you. Yeah.
So my point is, Mr. Chair, that we need to be.
Well, I go along with the point of order, because the point of order really is that information has not been, we have not received that information.
Correct.
So where did this information come from in this particular point? And that's the point of order. Yes, I'll roll on that because I have seen some, but I didn't realise that all of those reports had actually been handed in like that. So yes, I will continue, please.
Okay. So my point is that this needs to be open and transparent, so the people who are watching that are aware that the survey is going on can hear us talk about these issues. It has to be open. Thank you.
Yes, I understand. I understand where you're coming from there, but I mean, because of the situation that we are now in, and the way we've got to do now is do nothing else but move forward. I think we've just got to be very careful what decisions we make, and therefore, by having this in confidence tonight, I'm not saying that all meetings should be in confidence, but certainly the moving forward now as we are with the controversy that's been going on about some of the information that's been sent out. Matt Hobby informed me today that there's certainly, it will be a good report when he's able to come up, and this meeting tonight can decide on when that may be, because Matt, I think, will give you, Mayor Karen, dates that we can sort of work on there and maybe incorporate it in with other meetings or whatever, to save having meeting after meeting. So is there any, yes, Councillor Davies?
Yeah, look, I'm potentially, able to support this as going into confidence. I'm just, again, the motion in question that we're considering, I'm still, there's a lot of just confusion around what exactly is going on, what exactly will be discussed. But if maybe to the extent that we could get that clarified without going into confidence, would the acting CEO be able to help clarify that?
Ryan?
Look, through the chair, I think that would have to refer to the people that have moved the special meeting. It was obviously at their request, and the topic that they want to discuss is unclear to me at this stage.
Okay. Moved by yourself and seconded by councillor Goldstein. Yes, I think we've had a fair bit of discussion on that. Yes, Mayor Karen, would you please close the debate?
Beautiful. Thank you. Yes, thank you everyone for your discussion points. It is important that we discuss this in confidence. It is around the personal affairs of our CEO. I believe that he has that right, that we do give him that respect so that we can have a discussion around these issues in regard to the survey and the process. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. With that, I'll put the motion. All those in favour of the motion? All those against? It's carried. Thank you. Now, yeah, I wouldn't mind one of them. I was going to